let me just summarize then the screening steps at the post-offer stage. One, you determine the standard and the jurisdictional mandates. You don't want to do an evaluation unless you understand what the standard is. Somebody contacts you and says, hey, would you evaluate our records clerk? There may be very good reason for evaluating records clerks. Records clerks routinely file workers' compensation claims because of the effect of reading these horrendous reports and their exposure to photographs and other kinds of material that becomes part of their job routinely. And so the job can have a significant impact on them. It may be appropriate to do an evaluation of a records clerk. But you want to make sure that in agreeing to do so, you have an understanding of what the criteria are and what the standards for determining qualification are before you begin it. And that is likely not to be a statutory one, but one where you want to work with the agency to identify them. Second, choose assessment tools and other data sources that are relevant to the standard. Number three, obtain informed consent. Now, I've provided you in the materials an example of, and I'm not suggesting it's a model of informed consent. It's just the informed consent document that I have developed and that I use in my practice.
52 and 52.
Thank you. Page 52. Number four, administer, score, and interpret assessment instruments in a manner consistent with publisher standards and the standards of practice, including, as Mike had indicated, using current versions, current scoring versions, current norms. Number five, conduct a structured interview. After the testing has been done, not do the interview and then do the testing. Why is that important? Why is it important to do the testing first and then the interview? Pardon me?
You have to review the test or have questions.
That's right. There may be clarifying questions with respect to their responses for critical items, particularly with respect to admissions on suicide. A person says that they thought about suicide, you let them out of your office, or you talk to them about it first? You need to have that in advance. I understand that it is not efficient, that it is inefficient to have an applicant come into your office, spend the morning testing, and then be limited to conducting interviews effectively in the afternoon. It's not an efficient process unless you can have the written testing done earlier by the agents on site with the agency, or perhaps on another day at your own. But you can work around that. You can develop a practice that allows you to use your time in the morning productively and then test in the afternoon, do your interviews in the afternoon. Number six, integrate the data, giving proper weight to the most reliable and valid sources of data in order to form a conclusion with respect to the standard. And finally, report findings in a manner that conforms to jurisdictional mandates and protects privacy.